This video is for Dorman 38422 help part. It's a door hinge pin and bushing kit for a 94 through 98 Grand Cherokee. Part number is 38422. You have to remove the door to install this, because in Chrysler's infinite wisdom they decided to weld the hinges on. My top hinge was still intact and wasn't damaged that badly from time, so I left it alone. And I put a kit at the bottom because the bottom bushing, the very bottom bushing, was broke, and the top one, the upper one on that hinge, was wore through real bad. This kit, the pin goes through the top like that, and it doesn't have any knurls at the bottom. The original pin, hopefully I can get this, has a little head there. I had to cut and grind that away little by little until I could tap it through with a punch and get it out of there, and then you have to tap out the bushings. I had to clamp this part of the hinge right here in a vise and tap them out, and then flip it over and tap the other one out. Okay, when I put these bushings in, when you buy the kit, the bushing slides freely like this. When you put these in, there's another video where a guy tapped them in, and he had like 3 failures, so this might be why, I don't know. But I tapped one in and it fit perfectly fine, and then the other one tapped in and it was starting to feed in, and then it split, and I was barely tapping it with a small ball peen hammer. Wasn't putting any effort behind it, and it broke. So I pressed it in with a C-clamp instead, but the pin wouldn't slide up and down in the bushings like this, like it does before it was installed. It was real. It wouldn't even go in. The end would just feed in, and that would be it. So I took the round file here and filed it out little by little until the pin was snug. And I did that to both of them because it wouldn't fit through either one. But it still went through, and then they'll wear in, because these pins are pretty hard, and it should be alright. Now, I greased the bushings before I reassembled the hinge, and I also put some grease on the pin, and I greased these rollers because they were sticking too. And when I went to put the center piece in, where the one bushing goes in from the bottom, right there, and then the upper part, one comes in from the top on this bracket right here. You might be able to see it on. And when I went to put it together, it wouldn't fit between this outside bracket that's on the door. So I took the flat file and filed the bushings on top on this side right here. I filed that down little by little until it was snug, but they went in there enough I could feed the pin in. Then I fed the pin in to where the knurls were up against the outside bracket, and then gently tapped it in with a ball peen hammer. That's all it took, and hopefully, I don't think they broke. The pin was in both bushings before I tapped it, so that should have kept that from happening. Now, on this other video, the guy also, he pulled this boot out and the wiring harness in it, and it came apart real easy on his video. I think his had been out several times. This one, I had to pop this off, move it up the wiring harness, and there's a white bracket in there. I had to pop that out of the door. Then I had to get that, the inside this bracket is the union where the 2 plugs from the wiring harness and the door wiring harness come together. I had to pop the white plastic bracket off the 2 plugs that plug together. Then there's a little red latch thing, that safety latch thing that keeps the plugs from pulling apart. I had to pull that up and get it out so that I could start to separate them, and it still wouldn't separate. I had to get the plugs out and get it angled like this so I could take a medium-sized flathead screwdriver, feed it behind the latch on the wiring harness, and then the door wiring harness unplugged from it. It popped out kind of. It was in there pretty snug. It'll take some effort. Okay, and then I had to reassemble everything in the reverse way. I took it back apart. I am sorry I did not record myself working on this, but because on the other video I saw, it looked like it was going to be real easy, so I figured why even make a video, but this was not. This was like an hour, maybe more, of dicking around with this. But once it was all together, the hinge was really, really snug. But when it's on the door, it works good. There's enough leverage with the door. And now the door shuts right. There was a 1/4 inch drop to it, and now there's none, and it opens fine, and it holds the door open. And before, you couldn't even get the door. The door wouldn't even do that little kickback. It was sticking right there. It wasn't even going out to there. So hopefully this fixes it. If I have to replace this kit again, I will make a video. I do think they could have done a better job. The bushings, they shouldn't have had such tight tolerances on the pin, and they should have made it to where they went in a little easier than that. This is the first hinge pin kit I've had to put in that was this difficult and aggravating. And I put in like probably 7 or 8. I've rebuilt 7 or 8 hinges on different cars, and this is by far the worst and most aggravating, most time-consuming one I've ever had to do. So hopefully this video helps you. And I'm sorry that I didn't film the whole repair job. But thanks for watching. Bye-bye.